Metro Radio. We're also live in on 90.3 Lagos, also live in Abuja. Thank you guys so much, and we thank God for what it's doing. Last week we started a series on leadership, and if you want to call us up at any point in the show, 0818 099 1991. That's 0818 099 1991. All right. So we started a series on leadership, and we've been talking about leadership for a while. And it's just great what God is doing, on the show every Sunday morning like this. And we're streaming across all the platforms. Uh, like we said last week, it takes a mentality for you to have a certain level of leadership in a country. And the mentality of our leadership is a sum total of the behavioral patterns of our society. And truth has to be said, I'm going to be breaking down for you why we have difficulties in getting leadership right. The mentality of our leadership is a sum total of the behavioral pattern of our society. If we have a society that doesn't believe in integrity, that doesn't believe in commitment to a goal, that doesn't believe in providing for the less privileged, we can never have a leadership class that will believe in integrity. So for every hand we point at the leadership, it is also pointing back at us. So the question you want to ask this morning is, why does Africa have a problem of leadership? Because Africa has a problem of society. I'd like to tell you how leaders are made. Leaders are made also from broken homes. Leaders are also made from broken homes. Leaders are made from disjointed society. Leaders are made from every father out there that does not plan for his next generation. Let me tell you how leaders are born. A man sees a woman. The man had learnt from hitherto voices that have misled him about society that once you see a woman, you go take your own share of the national cake, which is a bad mindset, and you run away. And the man goes to the woman, he copulates with the woman, not thinking of the future. The woman gets pregnant. And when she gets pregnant, she tells the man, and the man says, I've got nothing to do with the pregnancy. I am not the only man that met you. Then the woman finally goes to have the baby, and she raises the child alone. And guess what? She raises the child alone, and the child starts to have a perspective about the world, that the world is cruel, that my father never wanted me, that I feel dejected. Then the child starts to think and say, one day I will work hard to become something in life to be able to show my father something. I have a point to prove. So the child grows up with that mindset, gets ambitious, gets successful. When he gets ambitious, gets successful, he gets successful with the intent of not to raise a society, but to show everybody that in spite of what I went through, I was successful. So I am the king now. So the child learns how to be brutal. The child doesn't understand that you must play by the rules. Because in the first place, there were no rules. Because there was no father to be able to teach the child about love. There was no father to be able to teach the child that there's more to success rather than just being big and having all the money in the world. That success is about living and letting others live. That success is about raising people that are down distraught and downcast in society. So the child learns every plausible bad experience about success in the book. And the priority for success is not the priority that is intended with what will bring development to the society. The reason why the child becomes successful is because the child wants to prove a point. And guess what? If care is not taken, that becomes your leader. And if care is not taken, that inspires a lot of people. And what does the leader do? The leader tells other millions of people out there that it's okay not to respect people. It's okay to hurt people. It's okay to do everything possible to get your way with a woman. It's okay to be braggadocious and show the world that everything about is about you. So that child also passes on all those values that are inimical to societal growth to its own child. And the cycle continues. And because that child is very influential, and a lot of people are misguided, they think because somebody is influential, the person knows everything. Then they start to fall astray. Then they have that kind of mantra. And when they have that kind of mantra, it becomes the order of the day. So we start to populate an ideology in society that society should be less kind to people, that society should be less warm to people, that you should do anything to be able to get what you want in life, even if it's to steal, even if it's to not play by the rules, even if it's to bribe election officials. Then we have a cycle. And this cycle of pain is what is birthing most of the leaders in the African continent. There's always a point to prove, but it's not the good point of how can we help people more? Because some of them, and I'm not saying all of them, hence I make a fallacy of hasty generalization, because some of them feel the greatest point to prove in society is to show people that never gave me a chance when I do well that I became successful in spite of them, and I'm going to put them down. And once we develop this mindset in society, it becomes the order of the day. Then our society starts to cascade into the trenches of avarice and chaos because of that. Our society does not move forward, becomes stagnated, and leaders are so concerned about how much they can show off rather than how many people they can heal. They be so concerned about how much they can hurt people rather than how much they can heal people. So that's the origin of the mindset. And guess what? While they were growing up, if they did not have the much needed love and the much needed care, all they do is to wallow and deepen their hurts for humanity. And if they wallow in the pain and they deepen their hurt for humanity, what happens? It's always a case of never enough. So no position for them is never enough. No position for them is never enough. I understand that I'm losing audio. I apologize for that. Can we? Is the audio back now? Oh, okay. I'm going to try that connection. So when they get to a place where for them, nothing is ever enough, then they start to wallow in an abyss, in an unthinkable abyss. Can people hear me on YouTube? Okay. And when they start to wallow in this unthinkable abyss, there is so much and so little, I should say, they can do. So rather than having a clear plan for the people and how to better the lot of the people, a lot of them start to face their own personal demons. And it is in facing their own personal demons they lose the plot. So the problem with Africa is that we have too many people still facing their own personal demons, yet they want to be leader. Oh, I don't know what's happening on Instagram. We can't seem to be able to get Instagram on. We'll see how we can reconnect with them. So, like I was saying, we have too many people that are facing their own personal demons and they want to be leaders. You can't be facing your own personal demon and thinking that the life of others entrusted in your hands will make you a lot better. So, like I was saying, you can't be facing your own personal demons and thinking the lives of millions of other people entrusted in your hands will be a lot better. There are many leaders out there that they are not done dealing with what happened to them at the age of 10. I tell you today, if you've not dealt with the niggling emotional issue of acceptance that you dealt with since the age of 10, then nothing will predominantly change in your life. Except you're able to deal with it, except you're able to deal with your own personal inherent demons, except you're able to liberate yourself and emancipate yourself from a great deal of your own personal mental slavery, then nothing will happen. Because you see, this first thing I'm talking about, I'm dealing with the root cause. Also, if time permits me, I also like to deal with societal causes. These things we're talking about is just the beginning. You have not dealt with how you were now taught how to be evil because of the game of politics you're about to play, the cutthroat nature of politics. A lot of you might even have come from good homes, but you had not stabilized in terms of your emotional development when you got into politics and got into leadership. A lot of you cried so much the first nights where you were told to kill, but afterwards you became accustomed to it. But everything goes back to the home. And this is the most vital part. You can't be a man that leads nations and you were never loved at the start of your life, and you think the pain will not suffice. You will always try to prove a point. And the point might not be in the interest of the people. And truly, that's why I know it hurts, but if you truly loved and you were birthed in love, politics is not going to be a do or die thing for you. The desperation is not going to be overwhelming because what you want to do is to simply serve. But the truth is, maybe there are some things you need to deal with. A lot of people that are becoming leaders today probably were not affirmed, probably were not kissed by their parents and told how much they were loved. All of those things matter. And parents, please, if you're listening to me today, don't forget that with you, you're carrying many generations. And how you treat them will determine how the future of the country will be. I beg you, treat your children right. Show them love. You cannot be a father and still be frolicking with 4 or 5 other girlfriends. That child knows, in case you think they don't know. And everything comes back to the child. And anything you do will be reflected on the child. Because one, scientifically, the child carries your DNA. Secondly, it carries your traits. Your values will be reflected on the child. Mothers, please, also, you have a rethink. I ask you and I beg you. Because anything you do will be reflected on the generations yet unborn. Which you carry with you 4 generations in your loins. And you see, society is filled currently with people that had a misalignment from the childhood. And these are people that are becoming leaders, not only in the political sphere, in every sphere of society. But there's a part we must all play. So at first, you need to understand that every leader comes from a home. And the home was the first agent of socialization. Some of them never had it good from the home front. And truth has to be said. By them not having it good from the home front, caused a lot of chaos in their lives. And them striving for leadership is a way to fill a void that is deep in their hearts. And probably leadership might not be the solution. They may need to fix their internal questions. Until we start thinking, then we can never make it out. And that's why all over the African continent, we had leaders like Mobutu, Sese Seko, Kukungelu Wazabanga. Leaders that thought it's all about them. It's all about their personal gain. Mobutu got so powerful that he became richer than his country. You wonder, why would somebody want to be richer than his own country? Why will somebody want to be richer than his own nation? But I don't know, so please do not quote me. Do you know the kind of thirst he has inside that he needed to feel? Do you know the kind of pain he went through that he needed to feel? You don't know. But these things matter. And that's why this message today is also a message to our parents. Please raise better generations. Because when you shirk your responsibility, you build liabilities for society. When you shirk your responsibility as a parent, you build liabilities for society. But it's time for us to look deeply. Look at Idi Amin Dada. Do you know the kind of hunger and the zest he was trying to feel up inside of him? You'll probably never be able to know. But you just sit down there and wonder, why do our leaders do what they do? Why do they need to kill and hurt people? There was once a Kenyan president, Arab Moi. He had so much land that people wonder, what did he need it for? But do you know the kind of deep, conceited gulf he had? Do you know? Because it really takes a lot to be able to order people to kill for you to win an election at all costs. It's not that everybody do not know about the violence, but the truth has to be said. Not everybody's wired in a way to do things violently. And not in every case, but in some cases, the wiring for violence also comes from your childhood and your home. The mentality for violence also comes from your upbringing. If you grew up in a society where violence was acceptable, you would accept violence. But if you grew up in a society where violence was condemned, you will condemn violence. And all of these things go back to the origin, to the homes of millions of people. So it goes back to the home front. It goes back to the mindset from the home front. What was the home front like? Was it okay or was it sad? Whatever the case might be, we might have lost out on having great leaders on the African continent. But can we secure the next generation? And parents out there, can you help to secure the next generation by treating your children right? Can you help to secure the next generation by being deliberate about how you raise your children? Can you help to secure the next generation by understanding that your child or being a father or a mother is the most important job in the world? And that's why when we lose the family, we lose a nation. And I hope our leadership understands that. When we lose the family, we lose the nation. When we lose the family, we lose the nation. The reason why we're losing the nation is because we're losing the family. We don't have families again that sit down on the table together. We don't have families again that pass on values. So when we don't have families, how do we have a nation? Because a family is a sum total of a nation. We need to look back and see how we can start to build a family again. Because the leaders we have today, a lot of people forget, is a reflection of the families we had yesterday. The leaders we'll have tomorrow in the next 30, 40 years will be a reflection of the families we have today. What kind of families are we building today? Families set up on baby mama? Even children that were raised with both parents. Sometimes this struggle takes the grace of God. How much more children that are raised without one parent? Not that the other parent is not there, but the value system is missing. We must be able to have a family that truly accounts for the identity of its children. We must be able to have a family that truly accounts for the identity of its children. Do we have that family structure today? Can parents truly account for the identity of their children? Can we? We must be able to have that family. And what we get up to do when we have that family, posterity will definitely judge us by that. So the first phase in understanding leadership is understanding the scenario at which these leaders were birthed. So you can't complain all you want, but if the home front was not good, it will take a miracle. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying people that were birthed in a bad home don't have epiphany and they change. But the question is, how many of them truly have that epiphany? And that's why we need to collectively make the family account for the identity of their children. It all goes back to the mindsets. Make the family account for the identity of the children. That thing I said is very loaded. A lot of families can account for the identity of their children. They don't even know how many children are at home or are outside. Some families, it is when the father dies, you know how many children they truly have. There are some women out there, you don't know how many children your husband truly has. It is when the man dies, you will know. And a child that is not brought up in the home also loses a sense of the identity. There are so many women out there that the so-called secretary to your husband, that your husband told you that I just, want to give her a better life and I helped her out with some money. The money is probably helping her with is to take care of a child they had together they don't want you to know about. So families must be able to account for the identity of your children. We live in an African society where too many people want to give what they don't have. And truth has to be said, you cannot give what you don't have. So I'll put up the number to call. 0818 099 19 91. These are the lines to call me up on. Also, in the 10 o'clock hour, just to let you know, we'll have another interview coming up. There's a case in court that INEC went to plead as regards temporary voters card. And that case is in court. And INEC went to plead that case in court, and they also lost. So we will interview one of the lawyers that handled that case. That's in the political segment in the 10 o'clock hour. 0818 099 1991. That's the phone line to call us up on. 0818 099 1991. We'll have a call already. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good morning.
Bless you, morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Tunde. I'm calling from.
From where?
Surulere.
Bless you, sir. Talk to me, sir.
Yep. I think I'm talking to Rufai.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah.
I want to agree with you on the leadership issue. Hello?
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you've spoken well about the leadership issue, especially as it relates to Nigeria, our dear country. But I want to disagree with you absolutely on the family line.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because you are validating the women.
I was doing what?
You were validating the women.
I was validating the women.
Yes.
How?
When you started your talk, you said you have a man who just goes and a woman, and the woman starts raising a child on her own. The truth of the matter is that women control access to sex, and men control access to relationship. So, the woman like this.
So let me come in quickly. I think you missed the plot. You totally missed the plot. So it's not a battle of the sexes thing. All I did was I set a scenario. I used an illustration to be able to show you the excesses of or how a dysfunctional home starts. It's not a battle of the sexes. That's not my priority. My priority is to be able to fix the fundamental structural problems that comes as a result of home.
You had the opportunity of shaping the way people think.
No, that's an illustration, and I deliberately started it.
I am also talking about your illustration.
Yes.
That it takes two individuals. Well, it takes two individuals to make a child. So when two people are irresponsible, don't put it on one person. That's why I actually told you that the power a woman has is actually over her. It is so perfect. That's the issue of rape. So that illustration is not
I get you, but it is my illustration.
Yes.
My illustration, can you listen to me, please? My illustration was not to denigrate the male folk. My illustration...
Time and time again.
No, hang on a minute, please. My illustration was to be able to set a scene for how dysfunction happens. It could go either ways. So it is not to denigrate the male folk. And it is not a battle of the sex.
You reinforced it. I listened to you all through. That was why I was waiting for you to call out the number so I can call.
No, I get your point, but it was an illustration not to...
I thought when you were in the previous radio station, I like your shows and stuff like that.
But the illustration was not to denigrate the male folk.
Man too, who have experienced life, have realized that women are not held accountable. And it's easier to blame men.
Please, would you listen to me, sir? Would you listen to me, sir? I think if you are making it a battle of the sexes, you are taking the off the message. I don't want to be drawn into this. It's not right. I have repeated to you that it is not to denigrate men. And if I had said that to you, I think you should respect that. I have repeated to you, it's not to denigrate men. It's to set a scene. All right? It is never to denigrate men. So when you subject it to battle of the sexes, I'm not saying women don't have their flaws in society. I talked about baby mama too.
Talking about the battle of the sexes.
No, please, would you let me finish, sir?
On what you said.
Would you let me finish, sir? Please, I beg you. So I also talked about baby mama. A woman too can call and say, oh, it's the man that should take responsibility. But I have told you is an illustration. What I am focused on, pretty much, is the way dysfunction happens in society, which could be either ways. All right? Let us stick to that so that we can iron out the case of leadership.
I understand what you're saying. This is the fabric of the family.
Yes.
And that is what builds the society.
So I appreciate you for that, but I think I've been able to make myself very clear that it was just an illustration. And in also speaking, I also did mention baby mamas. The woman too can take it on their own accord. It's as simple as that. So let's just see it that way.
You mentioned it in passing, but I have accepted.
And I think I have repeated it over and over again. Please, let's not make this about battle of the sexes. Let's focus on.
And I've said it, we are not.
Dysfunctional society. Thank you so much.
The truth has to be said.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So, see, this is not to pass blame on anybody. This is not a battle of the sexes. The truth has to be said. It's a reflection of the dysfunction in the home. And that's what I try to set the scene for with the scenario. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Great to have you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, sir. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, this is Ugonna calling from Oka, Anambra State.
Yes, Ugonna from Oka, Anambra State. Bless you, my brother.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Hello?
What your program is about.
Yes.
And I'm particularly concerned because it has to do with the leadership we have in Nigeria. That is where it affects.
Yes, please, Ugonna, can you help me check your there's a hallback from your line. I don't know what is happening.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me just move away from it.
Yes, move away from it.
Yes. So I'm particularly concerned because it has to do with the leadership we have in Nigeria and it's affecting everybody, the high and the low. However, the whole thing is trickling down from the high. And every common man in Nigeria is feeling it. The leadership, Nigeria is what it is today because of leadership failure that shortcut to it. And I believe every institution, the academic institution, the school, the church, and particularly the church, because that is where morality ought to be, managed and molded. The family, just like you are anchoring your program on, the family. Now today, because of the difficulty in the economy, the mama, the papa, everybody is pursuing that thing that is hard to come, leaving the children in the hands of mates and the hands of nobody in the streets. So I believe, I appreciate the fact that you're doing this well because you are a TV presenter. I think the mainstream media should help us hit on the church. Because while we are glorifying and celebrating the ill-gotten wealth, they are the same people that are bringing this ill-gotten wealth into the churches and they are being celebrated and accepted. It is high time we criticize this thing. It is high time church managers, prelates, pastors, and whatever it is they call themselves, begin to understand they are the people, in fact, as a matter of fact, beyond the family level. It is the church. Because that is where you bring all this ill-gotten wealth. When you bring it in, if they say take it back, you'll be ashamed of it, and you will never come in the light again with it. So these institutions are the ones that should be heated on to discourage this, so that in the site, even at the village level, we stop celebrating this.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I appreciate this program. I appreciate this, and I appreciate your courage. I said in the write-up I did on your program.
Thank you so much.
People like you will come together, we will change this nation for good.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
So please, I encourage you.
Thank you so much. All right, 0818-099-1991. Please, I was just trying to set a scene. I don't want us to make it a battle of the sexes, because also, and why I was deliberate about that was because it is that same mindset of pointing accusing fingers at both sexes that have ruined our society and ruined our development prospects as regards to raising the next generation. The sad thing is, men blame women, women blame men, and we don't move forward. The question is, how can we build a new leadership of the next generation? Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning. My name is Rufai.
Great to have you. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Mushin.
Bless you. Talk to me.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. Bless you.
I appreciate the courage on your radio station, and what I want to talk about is about the president's issue in courts.
No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about leadership, and you did hear what I was saying. That's the subject matter on ground. Yeah. So let's stick to the subject. 0818-099-1991. You can ring us up on the lines. 0818-099-1991. For the people who are streaming live on Instagram, I hear there's some difficulties. Let's see how we can navigate through all of that and get to the end of that. And also by 10, I am going to be trying as much as possible to interviewing somebody. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Bless you. How are you?
Yeah. Good morning.
Yes, morning.
I think I am listening to your program via my phone. Unfortunately, I don't have much credit. I would just like to know more about your organization, because I think at this point forward, Nigeria needs more of practical solutions to the problems that you are highlighting on your program right now. And I am an IT practitioner. I would like to be a part of your team, because the Holy Spirit is ministering to me right now, and I have practical solutions that I can give you. I am not somebody that champions things, but I like working.
Do me a mail, rufai@gmail.com. Do me a mail. We have a couple of things we'll be doing in the year. We'll have parenting conferences and things like that.
Okay.
Just do me a mail, rufai@gmail.com.
The government of Nigeria needs to be helped.
Yeah. Just do me a mail, rufai@gmail.com. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll probably send you a message, because I can't get that email right now. I'll probably send you an SMS here on this line. This is my personal line, sir.
Bless you.
And Sheikh Fajobi is my name.
Thank you, sir. Bless you.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.
0818-099-1991. So we'll also see if you can call that number on WhatsApp. Goodness me, we get tons and tons of calls every day, but we'll also see what we can get on WhatsApp. Truth has to be told. We have to try as much as possible to tackle this issue head on, because you see, that's what in turn makes up our society. And these are the things we have introspect on. Hello, how are you? Bless you. What's your name? Oh, we lost that. These are the things we hardly introspect on. Yes, so the WhatsApp for that number is going. You can call on WhatsApp 0818-099-1991. 0818-099-1991. Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Morning, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mr. Rufai, this is Mike calling from Isolo.
Great to have you. Bless you, my brother.
Happy Sunday, Mr. Rufai.
Happy Sunday to you. Bless you.
I am delighted meeting you online today. I've been listening to all the newspaper headlines. In fact, I'm one of them. That's the fan. Let me just be precise.
Bless you, my brother.
You are doing a great job, and God will continue to bless you.
Amen.
Let me go very quickly to the topic of today, leadership. The problem of this country, my brother, is what you have just told us. Nigeria is the best country that you can lead. Nigeria is the best country that can adjust to any system. And our leaders are using this opportunity to trade on our destinies. What is happening in this country today, Rufai, cannot happen in Morocco, it cannot happen in Tunisia, it cannot happen in Egypt, it can only happen in Nigeria. I was listening to one of the programs today in your radio station. Any country, foreign countries doesn't want us to benefit from what we have because they believe Nigeria is a big market, 200 million people. If you're able to secure 1 million people in any product you have in this country, you are multi-billionaire. But the leadership of this country doesn't want Nigeria to live from the benefit of what God has given them. Instead, they are showing it back to the foreign countries and leaving us with sharps here to suffer on. Rufai, keep on doing this work. God will bless you more and more.
Bless you. Thank you so much. Bless you. Hello? Oh, okay. We lost that. 0818-099-1991. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Ijeoma Egwuatu, calling from Madrid, Spain. Am I on to Mr. Husseini?
Bless you. Yes, you're on to me. Yeah, Rufai.
Oh, glory be to God. I'm glad to have you today.
My blessings be to God. Go ahead.
I and my family are watching Arise Television Fast. I call to say many thanks and good Lord protect you and your family.
Amen. Bless you, sir.
Keep walking. Word is watching you. We're proud of you.
Bless you, sir.
Thank you and God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bless you. 0818-099-1991, 0818-099-1991. You can also call that number via WhatsApp. All right. And I've also got tons and tons of messages. I had a lot of the people are very good friends is very good friends on YouTube. I see all of you. Sheguano, I can see you, my brother. Thank you so much. Proper nurturing is important. Sheguano, Osrim Page, Ubaja, thank you. Nobleman, Olayinka Vahut, you're a trooper. Bless you so much, my sister. Bless you every time. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you so much. We're still taking a lot of calls. And we're taking calls from every part. And we're streaming in every part. We're in terrestrial radio on 90.3, but also we're on multiple platforms around the world. So we're getting calls from everywhere possible around the world. You can still call us up, 0818-099-1991. All right, 0818-099-1991. Do well to call us up. And this is just the very fundamental part. You know, we started with the family. And as we progress in this series on leadership, we're now also going to talk about how society, how politicking create monsters out of our leaders and how they could watch it. And because you see, because apart from the family itself, then there is now the other aspect of society. What makes up our society? What are the values that make up our society? What are the things that make up our society? So those are the other traits and important parts. What are the things that make up our society? Are we even a kind society? So that's a very important question. Are we even a kind society? Do you think, as we are a kind society? Because truth is, we can blame our leaders all we want. But who are we as a group of people? Are we a kind society? Are we that society that truly cares for one another? Can we really say we are that society that reaches out to one another? Can we say that? Can we say we are that society that believes in fairness and justice for one another? If we are not that society yet, then there's hardly how we can move and how we can be successful. If we are not that society yet, then there's hardly how we can move and we can be successful. Are we that society that is just concerned about how to blame the other person for our problems? Are we that society? So if we are that society, then probably we are not ready yet. And maybe we should look in deeply about what makes up our psyche in a society. How did we even get here as a society? This series is going to be interesting. How did we get into this high level of corruption? In talking about this, then there's also the role of colonial masters, divide and rule. Because when you look at it historically, we're not this kind of society. The African society was a more robust one, sharing and loving, but also the role of colonial masters, the divide and rule mentality, the mentality that wants to grab everything for himself alone, the mentality that thinks power, position, and fortune is just about few people. So we started to learn a mentality that was very, very, and I use the word very, very adversarial in nature. We started to learn a mentality that only thought of itself alone. And this was further propelled by people that started to divide us amongst ourselves. And they used division as the order of the day. They look for ways on how they can divide us even further. They use division as the order of the day. Then it was constantly a struggle. But also, have we gotten better? Was it because of this division we continued, or we now learned from the best, or learned our own ways and set up our own value system that is inimical to growth? And this teaching session has to be full participatory, so you get a chance to call. 0818-099-1991. That's the number to call. How did this pattern evolve? Why did we have people that decided to think of how they could enrich themselves rather than do for the people? Where did our people even learn this mindset of once you're empowered, grab for yourself? Because see, all of these things we say, we talk as though it's the leader alone, but no, because the truth has to be said. Apart from the leadership, the people too. You'll be shocked about the number of people that support evil in society. You'll You'll be shocked about the number of people that urge on leaders to evil. And tell them, don't worry. Nothing will happen. We're behind you. So you'll be shocked about those people too. So how do we get it? And how do we get it right? These are many questions we need to ask ourselves. So I'll come back in the 10 o'clock hour and I'll sign on Victor and then we'll get a chance to talk.
Are you looking for the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos, number 42, Muritala Muhammad International Airport Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in a beautifully appointed rooms featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
When you're traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your everyday need is met. We also offer complimentary pick-up and drop-off from the Lagos airport.
Take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant.
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So, why wait? Book your stay today and experience ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort.
24/7 around the world, non-stop. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM.
Okay, so it's the 10 o'clock. It's the 10 o'clock hour now, and I'm trying as much as possible. Please, do you have Victor on the link? If you have Victor on the link, please let him in. Somebody has to join that link. His name is Victor. Do we have him? Oh, good. Okay, Mr. Akwatola Victor. Please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Mr. Akwatola Victor. Mr. Victor Akwatola, unmute yourself. Hello, Victor. Hello. Please unmute yourself. You're already live. Unmute yourself. So we're still trying to get Victor to join us live. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you're just joining us, we're still here. And we're taking a lot of calls this Sunday morning. In case you still want to call us up, is 0818-099-1991. And if you've got questions to ask, please do well to call us up on that line while we try to get Victor back on. Thank you. All right, Victor, are you there? Hello, Victor.
Yes, I'm here. Good morning, sir.
Good to have
I can hear you. Good morning.
Bless you. All right, so you are the lawyer
Thank you
that handled the case where you took INEC to court over temporary voters card. Can you go ahead and give us an update on what has happened to that case? I remember you won against INEC.
Yes, I am.
And the interpretation some people were arguing was the fact that it was only the 2 people that took INEC to court that can be allowed to vote with temporary voters card, not everybody. So can you clarify that for us and also tell us what happened?
Okay. In order to clarify it, I'll start a little bit from the Federal High Court. So sometimes in March, a judgment was given by the Federal High Court, Justice Egwuatu, to be specific. The judgment was in regards to 2 individuals who approached the court in regards to their power and in regards to their right to vote using the temporary voters card. The court gave judgment that particular period, and the judgment was to be effective starting from the gubernatorial election, because the presidential election was already concluded before the judgment was given. But INEC did not obey the court's judgment and did not allow people use their temporary voters card pursuant to judgment for this gubernatorial election. So INEC appealed about a few weeks after to the Court of Appeal, and the Court of Appeal gave its judgment. That was this Friday. That was yesterday. And what the Court of Appeal decided was the Court of Appeal struck out INEC's appeal on the ground that the appeal is academic, as at when INEC filed their appeal, that it's already academic and they will not hear the substantive matter. So that's the ground upon which it was filed. It was struck out. So the implication is that the judgment of the Federal High Court stands and is the law. Now, in regards to
I'm getting a call. Let me first
those that are arguing that
there's somebody that is trying to call. Just hello, how are you?
Good morning, sir.
Morning. What's your name?
My name is Dominic, calling from London.
Okay, great to have you, Dominic.
Thank you for the job you are doing, as others have done.
Thank
we really appreciate you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, peers, in the other studio as well. What
Thank
you
you.
guys are doing.
Thank
we
you.
really appreciate it. And we like this crusade that you are putting before all citizens. It's a nice crusade.
Thank you.
This is the real church.
Thank you so much.
The Mirage Church we have every other place.
Thank you.
The real church.
Thank you, Mr.
What I want to say, there's something, it's not only government we should be blaming. I blame government every day. We should start from we.
Yes.
The citizens. So, and that's what you started doing now. Now we urge everybody to key into this station, and at the same time, you take it upon yourself and other of your peers in the studio, maybe arise or wherever, to coach other young ones, either from each stage, so that they take this crusade to a bigger one. What I want to say is that when I say it has to start from us, if you look around Nigeria,
you discover that this corruption starts from school. They learn it from school.
Yeah.
These days, they don't even think of whether to read. It's only dancing. We know that there's a lot of money from there. But the kind of thing that is coming out of it is, take for instance, where people build houses. Why is it that when we say Nigeria is bad, and people think that we are not the right thing? Somebody who said that, according to this man that is called Lao Tez, he said the way of heaven is to benefit others and not to injure. But the people whom we rely upon are not injuring us instead of we benefiting from them. This thing goes to as far as your primary school teacher, as far as to your head prefect, as far as to your mother at home, as far as to your relations, as far as to political leaders. All of them, mention them wherever they may be. You see them building houses in Lagos. I'm using this as a case study. You discover that we carry generator in the street where I managed to pull it with it. They put small generator there and take the pipe into a poor man's window and begin to pump that person like when you are blowing rabbit in the hole. This is unfair. This is unfair. The nation has to look into all of this. Again, is it not high time for we to pull down the fences that all of us are using to skyscraper buildings? We have to pull it down and use it to fill the gutters. And you see South Africa is so beautiful. Other African countries look beautiful because they are not fancy. Anybody who fence like that, they have a criminal tendency. If you are fencing your distance, because if you do not have something to hide, you don't fence anywhere. Let's not open all this thing. That's where we begin from. Let's remove the fences. Whether you are Buhari, Babangida, remove the fence. Let's see you. Let's see who is coming to come and carry you. Yes, I equally accept, on the other hand, that there's a lot of criminals. But when we see this criminal, all we need to do is to form civil society peers in each street, along cells and other. They have to register to the government. When they register, government gives them that authority to report anybody who is doing XYZ. We know that in the state. Then if your mom refuse or your father refuse to nurture you, then you go and report. Let us legislate in such a way that the way we were doing it those days, when I see my friends' children, when they are going astray, I would say the kind of dressing you are putting on, this nightclub you are going to today, it's unfair. I'm going to tell your dad. Then we want to see your dad taking action, whereby your dad cannot, put that on you. Then there's a place where citizen where they have to go and report. And this one will create another employment. They don't do this. Then again, in the villages those days, I'm from Edo State. There's something we call it, by the way. Nobody does that anymore. I remember if I don't go and weed age group on Saturday early morning, they will keep far away from me. And that's our culture. We can't deculturize our culture and reculturize white people's culture. It's unacceptable by any standard. If you go to North America, like Brazil, like other Ecuador, Puerto, and others, these things are still being practiced. Why do they try to lean on people just like that? These are the small things we can use to help the government. Then you now begin to see local government will not be held accountable. And it will not create a job for them to say, oh, this is what they are doing. Willing yourself to the government will in turn will themselves to you. And that's how it should be.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Then when we are doing this, the government is not saying, like the way I quoted just now, when I now said that
thank you
the
so
way
much.
of heaven is to benefit others and not to injure, then the citizen will not come together and face the government. You will see this police and all these generals that they are giving to themselves. You will see all of them will be on our side. That's how it's going to be. We have to demonstrate that we are clean.
Thank you so much.
He who comes with to equity must come with a clean hand. I will tell you lastly, there's a politician in Nigeria, it's late now. Do you know his story? He was teaching us back in those days. He said when you enter office in Nigeria, the day your master steal one pen, just take the cat to home. Because he has no moral justification to talk to you. That is why the road from Lagos could not to Calabar could not be tied. You know where I'm coming from. So these are bad theories that is in the system.
Okay.
So I rest my case for now.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Sorry, I just had to take that call, Mr. Opatola there, because he had been calling for a while and it was a spillover from the last segment. Real quickly, so you say it's not only these two people, that every other person can be part of this judgment, right?
Yes, definitely. Every other person can be part of the judgment on the ground that, first of all.
Yes.
Okay. So on the ground that, first of all, although two people approach the court, to enforce their right, and it is sacrosanct that INEC naturally cannot just enforce the rights of these two people, where what applies to these two people also applies to millions and millions of Nigeria, which form the basis of the reason why INEC approached the court in the first instance. So other Nigerians who have gotten their temporary voters card can actually use this particular judgment to vote using their temporary voters card.
Okay. So secondly, I'd now like to ask you, but why is that INEC keep saying no, it's only those two people? That's number one. Number two, are you now, since you say INEC didn't implement it in the last general election, are you now going to move, file another suit for contempt of court for INEC?
Now, the first thing that happened was INEC didn't allow these two individuals. INEC didn't allow them to vote using their temporary voters card. That was in the last general election. So as it stands currently, personally, I've not yet gotten the brief to probably file a contempt proceeding. But what is important, what is very, very important, is that INEC has nothing to lose if individuals, if people use their temporary voters card to vote, in place of their permanent voters card, which will ensure that people are not disenfranchised, which form the basis of the judgment at the trial court, that's Federal Court. But the most important thing here for all Nigerians to note and understand is that the judgment of the Federal Court still stands. Then the appeal that INEC made to the Court of Appeal, it has been struck out. Has been struck out. So what stands is the judgment of the Federal Court, which means that Nigerians who has their temporary voters card can vote in subsequent elections.
Okay, and we are not sure if INEC is also going to push it further to the higher court.
We're not sure. We've not heard anything in regards to that.
Okay, all right, Nigerians out there, you heard it. I brought Mr. Victor Opatola because he's the lawyer that handled the case for two Nigerians, that were denied the chance to vote with a temporary, and they went to court, and now the court has said that, and also struck out the appeal from INEC that they can vote with a temporary voters card. So if you want to call us up, 0818-099-1991. But I'll just wait for a minute or two to see if we can get calls in. But if we can't, then I'll just let you go. But before I let you go, you said INEC did not, allow these same people that got the judgment. Is it that they did not take a copy of the judgment to the polling units? And when they did not allow them, why didn't they make noise about it?
Now, what happened was, it was actually, even after the judgment, INEC was emphatic that that it would not allow Nigerians to vote using their temporary voters card, and that yes, it was emphatic. So I think but the plaintiffs, not to further embarrass themselves or all these things, did not choose not to go to the polling unit, with the judgment to further to enforce it, as the case may be. So it was due to the emphasis that INEC laid even after the judgment.
So why did you guys go back to the court to ensure that the court makes it mandatory for them to obey court orders?
Now, as at the time, because when the judgment was given, it was I think few days to about a week thereabout to the gubernatorial election. So it was we believed that INEC will obey the court judgment, because as at the time the judgment was given, till the time till the gubernatorial election period, there was no stay of execution order. Even as a matter of fact, even until the appeal, there was no stay of execution order given by any court. So the implication is that there was no stay, and INEC ought to have obeyed that order. The fact that they did not obey the order, actually disenfranchised the plaintiffs and other people who ought to be able to vote using their temporary voters card. But the reason why we were not able to go to court was that as at the time the gubernatorial election was held, they were we felt that okay, the gubernatorial election has already been done with, so then we do not need to go for contempt.
So what's there? Because if you keep having all these successes in the court, so what's the advocacy for the next election now? So that people will be able to know that there's a judgment like this on ground. So what's the advocacy for the next election now?
The advocacy for the next election, first of all, is one, the judgment of the Federal High Court stands. What applies to two individuals applies to millions of Nigerians in the particular situation of these two individuals. So millions of Nigerians can vote using their temporary voters card. And the advocacy is that INEC should implement the judgment of this honorable court. And the federal government too, as it wants us to believe, as a law-abiding government, should ensure that INEC implement the judgment of the Federal High Court until and unless it is appealed to the Supreme Court.
All right. I'd like to say a very big thank you to you. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks so much for being here, Mr. Patola. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Very much.
This is where we're anchoring this Sunday. All we just need to do now is thank God for today, and thank you so much, all of our listeners, for joining us. We just go in the medley of worship songs, and I mean very, intense worship songs till about 12, where we continue programming right here. About 11, beg your pardon, where we continue programming right here on VOP. Thank you so much, Victor, for your time. Thank you all for listening. Bless you all. Thank you.
We have been serving you hot and fresh content on radio, and you have been loving it. Now we're taking it further. Catch us live on YouTube at BOP TV for all the juicy content you can't resist. Talk shows, exclusive interviews, news, lifestyle, and more. It's all about you. BOP TV, show up, speak up. BOP TV.
Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less. The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and Coldberry ice cream, delight in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and Coldberry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, Festac Town, 28 at Denira Ogunsanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1, Romeo's Pizza and Coldberry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions.
Are you looking for the perfect getaway?
Look no further.